Bolten Winter Spezial.
Life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. This is one from the famous Bolten-Brauerei. If you've watched any of the Altbier reviews, you'll hear me mentioning the Bolten-Brauerei. They are one of the oldest Altbier brewer in Germany. They've been going since 1266, would you believe? Now that is no mean feat. Brewing continuously since then, and this is their Winter Spezial. They don't do that many beers. They do a wheat beer, which to be honest is pretty crap. I don't like it. It's not like any German wheat beer you'll ever taste. They use alt yeast in it, and it just for me it just completely misses the point. However, they do one of the best alt beers, in my opinion, to ever come out of Germany, and that's the Bolten Alt. I think that's an absolutely amazing beer. But also the standard Alt, that is really good as well. And they do a couple of others as well. I think they do a Pilsner and they do a Helles. But this is their Winter Spezial, and as the name would suggest, it's supposed to be drunk during the winter. It is now January. It is fucking taters out there. So I'm actually doing something right for once and drinking a winter beer during the winter. If you watched the channel over the years, I've drunk winter beers in the summer and summer lagers in the winter. I don't care. Anarchy in Kent. I'm quite looking forward to this actually because, as I say, Bolten are a really good brewer. They, apart from the wheat beer, the other beers that have come out from that brewery have been absolutely outstanding, and I like what they do. They're from a place called, is it Korschenbruck? Or Karlsruhe, I think it's called, which is in the North Rhine-Westphalia region. If you know your German geography, I think it's 5 kilometres away from Mönchengladbach. There's a place called Neuss. I'm not sure whether you've heard of that. That's quite near Düsseldorf. It's 13 kilometres away from that. So you sort of get the picture. It's just basically northwest Germany, which of course is where Altbier comes from. And this isn't an Altbier, according to their website. This is actually a winter beer that they've done. It's supposedly, I'm just looking at the front, it says dark Naturtrüb, so it's basically an unfiltered dark beer. Sonder edition, that means special edition. That's about it really. It doesn't really give much information. As I say, it's a seasonal beer, so you won't be able to buy this all year round, so you're only going to be able to get it in the sort of winter months. So if you're going to get it, be quick. And I'm saying if you're going to get it, be quick. I have to taste it first before I recommend it. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you what to buy and what not to buy, but I'm going to give it a go and see what it's all about. Bolten are a good brewer, so I've got high hopes for this. It's a beer that, because it's a winter beer, it's going to be very in keeping with that winter beer style, i.e. dark, relatively high ABV, quite fruity, and quite full-bodied as well, similar to what the Belgians do and similar to what the English do. So hopefully that's what it's going to be. So let's stop guessing, get this beer checked out. Right, 330ml bottle. It is 5.8% ABV. Sonder edition, so special edition, blah blah blah. It's got a lot of stuff in German there. It's basically just saying it's dark Naturtrüb, Vollbier. That's about it really. Ingredients: Gust and malt, which is malted barley. So it's got wheat in here as well. It's got Weizen malts, Hopfen extract, and Hefe. They do make a big thing about their yeast. Hefe, of course, or Hefe, is German for yeast, and they do make a big thing about their yeast because it's the Altbier yeast that they're renowned for. Doesn't work well in wheat beers, trust me. Let's get it open and let's see what's going on. Right, there you go. A lot of flip top bottles I've been reviewing recently. Seems to be a thing from the North Rhine region. That looks amazing. I can almost see that is a chewy style beer. There it is in the glass. It's quite dark looking. I'd say that's a very, very dark ruby colour on the nose. Oh, that smells really good. Quite malty. A little touch of spice on there, but this is all about the malt, and it's caramel malt, and it's reminding me a little bit of a quite a decent Altbier. No trace of ethanol at 5.8%. Wouldn't really expect that. Looks good. Smells good. Let's see if it tastes good. Zum Wohl, as they say in Germany. Not bad. Spicy finish. That isn't bad actually. It's quite in keeping with the Altbier style, and I'm wondering whether this is just an Altbier with a higher ABV. Yeah, so there's big caramel malt on this. Let me get the rest of it into the glass. There is big caramel malt. That's evident from the taste on the palate, and there is quite a nice spicy finish on this too, which is again putting me in mind of an English bitter. Now, if you've watched the other Altbier reviews, that's what I generally get from Altbier. It's like a very good best bitter, but obviously lagered for a lot longer, and it tastes a little bit cleaner than most. However, this is unfiltered, hence the term Naturtrüb on the bottle. Let's dive in again. It's mainly all about the malt on this. There's caramel malt and there's roasted malt on there, and that roasted malt is giving it quite a nice bitter finish as well, but there is a little bit of the hop spice that's coming through on there as well, and I'm quite liking it. It is that, yeah, that is definitely cloudy. I don't know whether you can see that or not, but I'm doing my best to hold it up to the light, but of course autofocus just doesn't want to play ball at the moment. But oh, come on, autofocus, you fucking moron. Can you see that? That does look like an English winter warmer, in my opinion, and it tastes quite nice. However, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say the English do Christmas beers better than the Germans. When it comes to this style, certainly the dark beers, I think the English and the Belgians have it down pat, to be honest. This is nice though. I'm not knocking it. This is a nice beer. There's no nasties in there, and it does remind me of the Bolten-Brauerei. I do remember that as being an outstanding alt beer. However, I think the standard Bolten Altbier was nicer. This, I think it's just a higher ABV version of their Alt, and it's nice. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if this was a standard beer that they did, like a strong Alt, I think that would go down really well. I mean, I really do like alt beer. It's a bit of a maligned style in Germany. It's not that popular outside of the northwest region of Germany, the North Rhine-Westphalia region, you can buy some of the macro brewed alts all over Germany. I'm not sure how popular they are, but I think if you're gonna get the best alt, you need to go to Dusseldorf or the surrounding area. Of course, Mönchengladbach is not too far away from there, but it's a great style. Very, very similar to the English bitters, best bitters, and if you like bitter, you're definitely going to like Altbier. I guarantee it. It's nice, and as I always say in these, and I'm going to class this as an Altbier because they are an Altbier brewer of great renown. But I'm going to say this in every video that I do when I get a decent alt. If in a blindfold test you were asked to get the aroma and the flavour, you would not, and asked which country this beer originated from, you would more than likely say the United Kingdom. I know that Altbier, hence the term old, comes from old beer, and I think that was coined by the Schumacher Brewery from Dusseldorf, but they've been doing it since 1266. They've been brewing it in this way, and of course when the Reinheitsgebot was enforced, it basically meant that everybody had to brew light, well, not light coloured, but conform to some ingredients and do bottom fermented beer. There were exceptions with Kölsch and Goes, but the Altbier style as well. This, as I say, is quite nice. There's a fair amount of roasted malt on there, and it's bordering on sort of toffee malt and almost dark chocolate coffee style flavours as well. But there is a little bit of a black pepper bitterness on the back, and you know, again, in a blindfold test, and this just goes to prove as well how much we drink with our eyes. I would say that they were English hops that were put in here, and it would be something like a Fuggle or even a Challenger hop, with that dark black pepper, spicy, bitter finish that's on there. But it's nice, I like it. Is it, well, I'm going to class it as a Christmas beer. Is it the best winter beer or winter Spezial? I really think Germany does some stuff, great stuff. Don't get me wrong, when it comes to beer, they are the past masters at brewing bottom fermented beer. I don't think anybody can even come close to what they do. When it comes to the top fermented styles, I think you leave it to the Belgians and the English, because that's what we do. We do the best top fermented beer. But this isn't bad. I mean, it sounds like I'm lording it over the Germans, but this is a really nice beer, and I would have no problem drinking this stuff all night. At 5.8%, I can't tell you what state I would be in. Probably not a good one, but it's nice. Very nice indeed. I'll go a little bit further and say it's very nice. It's got some interesting flavours on it. And I'm liking that roasted malted profile on there as well. That's really putting a new dimension on it, and especially for a German beer. Yeah, well done, Bolten. I mean, I know I'm just saying that we do it best, but this is a valiant attempt, and I really like this. This could be a beer that I could potentially drink all night and enjoy, and it's got flavour to it, but the flavour is quite rounded. I think 330ml bottles for this beer, because it is actually quite rich, it's quite full-bodied. I think 330ml is the correct measurement for this beer. I think if you had a 500ml bottle towards the end in one go, and again, psychological, I find this as well. If I have a beer that's quite, well, very flavoursome, and it's in a 500ml bottle, I do tend to think, well, prime example is the Shepherd Neame Double Stout. That's really, really intense. In a 330ml bottle, I don't know, maybe I could drink 3 or 4, but it's just the psychological thing of seeing that big wad of really hefty beer in front of you, and you just think, oh Christ, am I going to be able to finish this or not? But yeah, I think they've got that spot on. It's nice. There are better winter beers out there from other countries, but I think that is a valiant attempt. Quite liking that. So what's the verdict on Bolten Winter Spezial? Very nice indeed. Yeah, and again, this is very English in its profile, and I do like the fact that they have sort of kept in the Altbier style for their winter beer as well. Now, if you taste the Uriga Doppelstick, which is an alt that is quite hefty in the old ABV stakes, that tastes very much like a barley wine. This, again, in my opinion, is very much in keeping with the English old ale style, because it's got that big malty character to it. There is a little hop spiciness on the finish, but it's all about the malt, and it's big caramel malt, but there's also roasted malt in there that's giving you like a dark chocolate, almost smoky style flavour to it, and it's nice. And I am going to give that a solid 8 out of 10. I think that's really nice. I don't think it comes up or it measures up to the quality of some of the English winter warmers, or even the Belgian brown ales, or the festive beers that they do. I think England and Belgium are constricted by the Reinheitsgebot, but I know that's being relaxed at the moment. But we tend to put in stuff like, well, the Belgians do, they put in clove, we put in licorice. Both England and Belgium put in the invert sugar and stuff like that, or brewing sugar. But we have invert sugar, they have candy sugar, which is, one's a beet sugar, i.e. the candy sugar is a beet sugar. We use the invert sugar, which is a cane sugar, but it's effectively brewing sugar, and it does come through on the flavour. So I have to say, I do prefer them styles of flavour. But this is not bad. If this was rebadged as an English old ale, that would be superb. But yeah, for the Germans to do that, yeah, it's not bad. It just doesn't, I don't think, quite comes up to what the English do. But it's still good. I like it. So that's why I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. And I'm going to recommend it. That is another winner from Bolten. And remember, beer is working class champagne.